What name is that?
Jerry Gallo. Jerry Gallo.
In Black Hawk Down, a scene shows a soldier falling out of a truck in the convoy. This was an outtake that Ridley Scott chose to keep in the film. In Groundhog Day, after Phil smashes the radio, it keeps playing "I Got You, Babe." This wasn't planned, but director Ramos loved the dark humor and kept it in. In Office Space, David Herman's confusion at the printer error was genuine.
PC load letter? What the f does that mean?
The error distracted him from his actual line, prompting the line that ended up in the movie.
PC load letter? What the f does that mean?
In Goodfellas, near the end of Henry and Karen's bedroom argument, Liotta accidentally stepped on Bracco's hand, causing her to reel back in pain. He paused in concern, but they stayed in character and worked it into the scene. I loved the scene in Fun with Dick and Jane when Jim Carrey missed a step while climbing down from a light fixture and fell to the floor. Despite the fall, he got up and grabbed the printout he was after, and they decided to keep it in the movie. During the production of A View to a Kill, Roger Moore was known for pranking the cast and crew. One day, Grace Jones decided to prank him back. During the sex scene between Bond and Mayday, she ripped off her robe to reveal a large dildo and jumped on top of him. His reaction was completely genuine. In Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, the moment when Wanda glances at the camera during her first dreamwalk was not in the original script. Director Sam Raimi had Elizabeth Olsen do it on the last take as an experiment, and it ended up in the final cut. In Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Draco dragging Crabbe down when he stands to applaud Hagrid was because actor Jamie Waylett forgot he wasn't supposed to stand. In Dogma, there's a scene in the gun shop where Ben Affleck picks up a knife and plays with it. If you keep watching, you'll see him cut his finger and recoil in shock. This moment is also joked about in the DVD commentary. In Follow That Camel, when Bo West drops the rifle on General Berger's foot, Jim Dale accidentally dropped it onto Kenneth Williams's foot instead of the sand. It was so heavy it cut the boot leather. Williams's painful reaction was real. In Jurassic Park, when Gennaro runs into the bathroom and backs up onto the toilet, Martin Ferraro actually landed on the toilet. Director Steven Spielberg kept it in for its authenticity. In Looper, Kid Blue drops his gun while twirling it, which fits with his previously shot himself in the foot gag. It was the only take where Segan messed up, but it was kept because it was too funny and fitting to leave out.
Alright, kid, cut it out. I'm gonna blow your other foot off.
In Monty Python's Life of Brian, during the scene where people trudge uphill to listen to the Sermon on the Mount, the extras started leaving during a lull in filming and had to be herded back. Eric Idle noticed it looked good and suggested turning the cameras on to capture it.
Mom.
Well, I call you a thing.
In A New Hope, the stormtrooper on the right accidentally smacks his head on a low doorway. Instead of editing it out, they highlighted it with a loud thunk sound.
Take over.
In Fargo, the scene where Jerry doodles wasn't in the script. William Macy was doodling between takes, and the Coen brothers noticed and decided to include it in the movie.
Mr. Lundegaard?
Yeah.
In Joker, Arthur's dance in the bathroom after his first 3 kills was completely improvised by Joaquin Phoenix, creating one of the film's most memorable moments. Initially, the script had Arthur hiding the gun, washing his face, and talking to himself. Inspired by the bathroom dance composition, Phoenix improvised the scene. The refrigerator scene was also improvised. In Marie Antoinette, Asia Argento ad-libbed Madame du Barry burping at the dinner table because she was tipsy from the real champagne served on set.
Pardon.
In Black Hawk Down, stray dogs constantly ran into shots. Ridley Scott liked the authentic feel of their presence, so he kept them in the film. 8 dogs were adopted by various crew members and were eventually brought back to the US. In Dr. Strangelove, the ending where Strangelove stands up and yells, "Monsieur! I can walk!" was improvised by Peter Sellers. He got caught up in the moment, forgot his character was paralyzed, and accidentally stood up while delivering his line. "Monsieur! I can walk!" In The Breakfast Club, the closing scene where Bender raises his fist in defiance was ad-libbed. He was supposed to just walk away, but Judd Nelson threw his fist up without telling anyone. Everyone loved it, and it became an iconic symbol of the 80s. In Friday the 13th, the snake in the cabin scene wasn't in the script, but was suggested by Tom Savini based on his own experiences. The snake's handler wasn't informed beforehand and was very unhappy with what happened.
Well, at least we know what's for dinner.
In The Bourne Identity, the dramatic face Bourne makes as he gets up from the park bench was a real reaction from Matt Damon while watching the cameraman set up. The director liked it and told him to do it again. In The Apartment, Jack Lemmon was supposed to pretend to be punched by Carl. However, he moved incorrectly and was accidentally knocked down. Director Billy Wilder liked the genuine punch and kept it in the film. In Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, the scene where Mark Ruffalo and Kirsten Dunst dance over the unconscious Jim Carrey in their underwear was improvised. In Deliverance, the gas station attendant's jig during dueling banjos was unscripted and spontaneous, according to director John Borman. In Field of Dreams, the fog that appears when Ray Liotta vanishes in the cornfield was natural. They shot all the field scenes during magic hour, so the fog was expected. In Flash Gordon, Flash jumping into the camera and screaming was improvised by Sam Jones because no one could figure out how to end the movie.
Have a nice day. Yeah!
In Gettysburg, some sources say the scene where General Lee is mobbed by cheering Confederate soldiers was unscripted. The reenactors enjoyed working with Martin Sheen so much that they showed their appreciation in this way, and director Ron Maxwell filmed it. In My Cousin Vinny, when Vinny knocks over Judge Haller's chess pieces, it was an actual accident by Joe Pesci. The director loved the moment and the actors' reactions, so he left it in. In Thor Ragnarok, there's an interesting case with Loki's missing trailer scene. Tom Hiddleston finished his fight choreography early, and not wanting to stand around like a lemon, flipped the knives and caught them successfully. In Kingdom of Heaven, when Balian realizes the Hospitalier has mysteriously vanished, his horse does a little jump as if it was surprised too. This was actually a random reaction by the animal, not scripted, and was left in because it fit the scene.